This is Cat Daddy from Cat Daddy and Son. I'm about to present here at the annual Hoover Fishing Conference here in Central Ohio. I'm going to do my best to try to not trip over my words, and we'll see what happens. We want to show some of the fellow anglers here locally how we get it done.
In the last 4 seasons, we started keeping track of our catches, where, how many, kind of what time of day, what our bait was, what our presentation style was, and in the last 2 of those 4 seasons, we've really kind of funneled it and narrowed it down to a particular systematic approach that we take. What we've been doing is landing around 40. This last season was upwards of about 50 channels and blues between the 2 of us, which we go out about a dozen times out in the summer. I work year round, and when he's out for school, then you know, we go on the weekends when we can. But so that averages out to about 4 to 5 every time we're out on the boat. One's catching 2, the other one's catching 3. I used to go with the more fancy slinky weights, that would drag on the bottom. Here's what I'm going to say about those types of rigs. You're close to the edge of the water. We've all done it at some point in our lives, kid, adult, what have you. You grab a stick and you scrape the bottom of the water, okay, down into where the bottom is. What happens?
Water.
It clouds up, right? A bunch of mud clouds up. So I get to thinking, I'm like, where we're primarily fishing up in the mud flats, okay, I'm dragging this bait with this real big piece of weight to keep it down, okay, especially if we got a current going. And I'm dragging it, and it's kicking up all this mud down in the bottom. And where's the mud coming up? Right in the path of what? The bait, okay? So the next slide I'm going to show you is more about the anatomy and physiology of a catfish. And when you see that, it's really going to connect. It's going to make sense. So I thought a little more about, okay, how can I be crafty about still keeping it at a depth that I can control, but yet not getting the cloud of mud and murk and dirt and all that that's kind of getting in the way of it. So what we did is we decided to go with using a slip bobber. Basically, it's a clip-on bobber, and if you buy the kind that have the black tip, you can adjust them so that they don't completely clamp down on the line and they slide. Very similar to a slip bobber. Now the slip bobbers, obviously, you have to put them on the line and they move up and down. I like this because I can clip it and take it off if I want to put this guy on, okay? Because the 2 aren't going to mix. But with this, I've got about, right here, about 9 feet in, I had measured a little rubber bobber stop, so that when I cast, line's going to drop until it hits the bobber stop, and I get to dictate exactly where the depth is of that bait, okay? And I'll have this soaking in chicken blood for at least 24 hours. I'll cut the bait ahead of time, whether we fish at a pond nearby and catch some bluegill, we'll put corn on the hook and I'll let my son have a blast, and in half an hour we've got 6 to 10 bluegill. We'll cut them up, hack them into pieces, and we'll put them into a cup of chicken liver and the blood. I don't get that frozen Tyson stuff. I get the stuff that's in the cooler right there, that's fresh, that they put out. I only use that stuff because it's got all the liquid in it that I'm after. What we'll do is additionally, I'll take the knife and just jab it a whole lot of times so that it's puncturing it. For those of you who barbecue and you marinate, you want to puncture the meat so it soaks up more of whatever it is you're trying to marinate it with, right? That's basically what I'm doing here. And when I put it in, it creates this cloud that continues to break apart and dissipate as you're moving around. All I have to do is just simply adjust this a little bit, and I can see more and more of it coming apart. Now this is 15 gallons of water right here. Imagine you're in an area where it's open in all directions. It's about 2 feet from the bottom, so the cloud is going down, it's going out in every direction. In some cases it's even pushing up depending on the current. You just get a little bit of breeze. you are chumming that entire area. Is anyone cost effective? If something's not biting within about 20 minutes, as far as I'm concerned, there's really nothing there, or at least nothing there that's interested. So what I'll do is I'll take what I have, put it back into the cup and let it soak up again, and I'll pick something fresh out of there and I'll just recycle. The thing about the compound inside of blood is there's an evolutionary trigger inside of it for all wild animals. Predators, when they smell blood, you know that coppery smell that it has to it? You go into a bait and tackle shop and you can tell someone's been cutting up some chum or whatever, and woo, that wall of odor hits you. It's very strong. In fact, it's it's one of the strongest one of the strongest natural odors. It's up there with citrus and vanilla. With blood, though, is it triggers something that goes back to an evolutionary level where predators rush towards it and prey flee from it. Okay? So what does that mean? When I put a very, very blood-soaked chunk of bait, I combine them. When I put that in the water, not only does it attract what I'm after, but all the other bait fish that would otherwise be in competition with it, so to speak, they all get out of Dodge. Bringing all of the predators into the area, and you're scaring off all of the contending prey that otherwise the fish might grab one of them instead. Nope, they're coming to the one show in town, which is your presentation.
Hey Cat Daddy fans, this is of course Cat Daddy from our channel. I am just now leaving out of the 21st annual Hoover Fishing Seminar. I want to say thank you particularly to Joe Hatfield, who did an amazing job of orchestrating the whole event. It was his first year and he did a spectacular job. Couldn't ask for more as far as having been given the opportunity to be a guest speaker and present to avid anglers of all ages. I am feeling very blessed and I am very grateful for getting that opportunity. I also want to say thank you as I got this really nice, very handsome wooden plaque, which I understand was made at the Walnut Middle School shop class earlier in the week by the teacher and students. So that's great. I just feel absolutely blessed to be a part of it and get to share a little bit of wisdom with number of folks. Some had much more experience than I do, but they were still willing to listen and you know, pay great attention and ask great questions. So thank you all very much. And if you haven't checked out our other videos, please go ahead and do so. Make sure to subscribe in the bottom corner. Thank you.